Okay, call this meeting to order. Roll call has been taken. Present are Brandon Hyde, Richard Morel on Zoom, Pete Chalecki, and Doug Lee. We have a quorum and all members are voting. Does anyone wish to approve the minutes from August 3rd? So moved.
Pete, second.
All in favor?
Pete, aye.
Brandon, aye. Doug?
He's muted.
Doug, you want to unmute yourself?
Doug, aye.
It's unanimous, so approved. Are there any communications, Dan?
So I have a couple. The pond at 289 New London Turnpike has been treated in the past month or so on August 30th. And then you got an email from the city manager secretary earlier this afternoon about land use training. I believe all of you attended the first one that was at City Hall, but you need to have 4 hours total by the end of the year. So her email has a link with some trainings that are coming up, and just get in touch with her to either schedule it or show her your certificate from the various trainings, because she has to track it.
And her name again, Dan, is?
Jackie Barbarossa.
Thank you.
And Jackie already has our certificates of completion for the first hour and a half.
I believe she does from the one at City Hall. I'll circle back and reach out to you if she doesn't.
Any old business?
No.
New business IWWCC number 2305, 0 Myrtle Drive. This is something, of course, that we have to table, but David McKay is here. He's here to see if we need to determine whether or not we want to do a site walk, and whether or not we should consider this as something that needs to have a public hearing. David, do you want to introduce yourself and just very briefly give us a overview of how much?
Yes. My name is David McKay with Boundaries LLC, here on behalf of the applicant Sammy P. Inc. and property owner Sammy Petrowski. This application is for property known as 0 Myrtle Drive. It is located to the west and southwest of the FedEx property and the St. Jude Common property in the Norwich Business Park. The property does contain wetlands. It's a 77-acre property, about 46 acres located in the city of Norwich, the remainder being located in the town of Franklin. We have no activity proposed in Franklin or within the upland review area of any Franklin wetlands, which do include Elisha Brook and its associated bordering wetlands. On our Norwich property, where our activity is proposed, this is a steeply sloping lot that has not been developed. It's currently entirely forested. This proposal is to clear 18.6 acres of the property and grade those areas out to provide commercial pad sites for future development. One smaller site will be located directly behind FedEx. That's a 1.4 acre pad site, and then a larger 4 acre pad site is proposed directly behind St. Jude Commons. On our Norwich property, there are 3 wetland systems, one to the south right here. And that wetland, it also contains a vernal pool. We have no proposed activity within the upland review area of that wetland. We've had a biologist on site who prepared some recommendations for us for how to protect and mitigate disturbance to the vernal pool. And we've incorporated those into this application as well. Another wetland area is an isolated pocket of wetlands here that is fed by an intermittent watercourse that originates at the drainage system from Myrtle Drive. That pocket of wetlands is located directly in the middle of our proposed activity to create that 4-acre commercial pad site. So this project does include a proposed fill of this entire wetlands, which is about 7,000 square feet. And also the relocation of this intermittent watercourse by constructing a drainage channel, a riprap swale, to direct it around our proposed site. And then finally, there's wetlands that is mostly off-site, but does extend onto our property at the northerly property line. There's a sewer easement that runs right through the wetlands, and we're maintaining a 50-foot buffer between our limit of clearing and that wetland system there. Dan, I was on the topographic survey. I'm just going to flip over to sheet 6 of the site plans, because that shows our overall proposed development. You can see here entrance from Dominican Drive, stormwater basin right there to collect runoff from the pad site, and the initial part of the driveway continuing down the slope to our 4-acre pad site, with the wetlands being filled here and drainage swale being relocated here. And then as far as stormwater management goes, 2 stormwater basins at the bottom of the slope that will collect all the runoff from this hill. They're proposed to be constructed stormwater wetlands. The outlets are set above the bottom, and they'll be seeded with wetland seed mixes and attempt to provide additional treatment of runoff before it leaves the site. And that runoff location is right here where it used to go before the build of that wetland system. So we just wanted to be available to answer any questions, and as Rich had mentioned, ask the commission to determine if a site walk would be desirable, and if this would be considered a significant activity that would justify a public hearing at the next. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion?
From the material that's being displayed online, it's very difficult to actually see the boundaries of the wetlands.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring it up, Doug. Just give me one moment here. Dave, what page? Page 3?
Sheet 3 is the topographic survey.
I'm actually interested in the one that delineates the wetlands.
Yes, that does. The previous sheet shows the wetland delineation. It's also shown on sheet, what's shown on most sheets, but the next one, Dan, may be the best one showing the specific area of
Right here.
fill. Right there. Yep.
So this is the road coming in. This was the pad on Dominican and Myrtle. And then this is the pad down the back, and this was the drainage swale.
Yeah, and the wetlands in watercourse are right through the middle of that pad site.
Here, right?
Right there.
And that's a water course that is because of the drainage there. It's
Yes.
initiated by the drainage from.
Yes, it's directly out of the drain pipe from Myrtle from Myrtle, yes, and I do have a few photos. Which I can leave for the record and submit to the members in the room here.
And I apologize, but I'm nervous that if we turn the video on down there, it's gonna crash the Zoom on that laptop.
And we really only deciding whether or not we should walk out there.
Right.
Rick, have you seen any of the documents?
Yes,
So the aerial extent of the intermittent or the wetlands from the intermittent brook in the pad site is that's a good proportion of the proposed pad site.
yeah, it bisects it.
I think on the basis of that, a site walk is something reasonable to consider.
Yes. So we're looking in November. If we make this decision, yes. Or we could do one sooner. Well, it has to do it has to be published. That's okay. Special meeting could start in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say unless you're gonna wanna hold a public hearing, if you just wanna do a site walk, we can schedule a special meeting site walk between now and November, if you'd like.
And
That's
at that point,
route.
just whether we want a public hearing or not.
Well, we can't vote on a special meeting, correct, Dan? We can do a site walk. We can do a site walk with a special meeting posted, but then we shouldn't decide the significance until the next regular meeting.
Yeah, I would say you could go on the site walk.
Right.
Not ask any questions or answer any questions.
Right.
And then decide whether or not you want to have a public hearing in November.
I say
But then we'd need to schedule that, so that would kick it out.
Right. Okay, so do we have a motion to hold a site walk?
I move we schedule a special meeting for the purposes of a site walk only.
Doug, second.
All in favor?
Brandon,
Doug, aye.
Pete, aye.
Rick, aye. Unanimous. Motion is approved.
And do you want to decide on a date now, or do you want,
I think we should, Dan.
okay,
Yeah. you want to-
Anytime after October 22nd, I'm out of town.
But we need to post how many days ahead for a special meeting? Dan?
well, if it's not a public hearing, it's just a couple days. So we could have it next week if you'd want,
It's
or the following week.
You want to do a week from Saturday in the morning or?
14th.
If everyone's available?
I will say that I'm assuming Deanna would want to go, and she will be in Arizona and won't be back until the 16th.
When does she?
She leaves this weekend and she's gone for a week.
Okay, so we should try to get this in the week of the 16th. Are people available in the afternoon?
I can be that week.
I can as well.
I think my calendar is reasonably clear.
Couple limitations. She'll be back on the 16th then? Is the 16th a possibility for everyone?
Monday, the 16th.
Works
Yes.
for me.
That'd be the best for me.
Yep, I can do that.
And a time.
I'm open that afternoon, so it's up to the rest of the commission.
Yeah, I'm open in the afternoon as well, that day. We thought.
Doug or Pete?
What was the proposed time?
We don't have one,
We'll
just
look
said
at,
afternoons.
Yeah, 16th, anytime.
how about you, Pete?
Early afternoon, or what do you think?
Mid or late? It doesn't matter, anytime. It sounds like anytime in the afternoon, Pete, really. We're all open, so it's whatever works best for you.
I don't care. 4, 3, 4, something like that. Or later, I mean. It
Well-
gets dark at what, 6:37?
It certainly is dark by then, so
It was 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
thanks, Dave.
Great, thank you all for your time this evening.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Other business,
So the other thing tonight is a discussion regarding procedure on the upcoming meeting for IWWCC 2205M, which is currently called 439 Canterbury Turnpike. It's a modification of the previously approved permit, but now it's for a proposed subdivision and a report to the Commission on the City Plan regarding the subdivision application. This is the Business Park North, now known as the Ockham Industrial Center. It would be staff's recommendation that you would want to schedule a public hearing for this at the November meeting.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's a significant, subject.
any other discussion?
Just for the record, the applicant is here and he has no objection.
Okay. Thank you. That was Attorney Block. Hearing no other discussion,
I think we need a motion. Okay. I move that IWWCC for 22-05M 439 Canterbury Turnpike is considered significant, therefore warrants a public hearing at our next regular meeting.
Doug, second.
is the motion on the table? All in favor?
Doug, aye.
Pete, aye.
Brandon, aye.
Rick, aye. Unanimous, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Violations, Dan,
None at this time.
do I hear a move to adjourn?
Doug, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Doug, aye.
Pete, aye.
Rick, aye. Unanimous, so moved. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for your time.